Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Saturday the 4th of November and Sunday the 5th of November. No video yesterday. I had a bonfire party to go to, and kind of gutted after that result. It's easy. It's a lot easier to do videos when we don't lose the game in such a fashion at such a late time in injury time. That's really was a gut punch. But I am here today, and I kind of had a feeling as well that there would be news about the new manager on Sunday, and that is true. If you don't know already, where have you been? Because everybody's talking about it. Out of nowhere, the person that nobody knows who they are is set to be Mill's new head coach. More on that in a minute. So this is from SouthwarkNews.co.uk. Joe Edwards set to be appointed new Mill boss. Following a 2.5-week search for Garrett's successor, the club have made their decision. Joe Edwards is set to be appointed as Mill's next head coach. The England under-20 boss will make the switch to Den this week after beating several candidates in the fight for the job. Garrett left Millwall by mutual consent 2.5 weeks ago, with assistant manager Adam Barrett taking caretaker charge in the 4 games since. Edwards is set to be in place for Saturday's away game at Sheffield Wednesday. His first game in charge at the Den will be after the international break when Millwall hosts Coventry City. The 37-year-old is a highly regarded young coach and has experience largely at youth team levels. Well, he's only managed at youth team levels. He's only been the main man, the big boss, at 8 restricted teams, namely Chelsea's under 18s, Chelsea's under 23s. So he's been an assistant at Chelsea under Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. He's been an assistant at Everton under Frank Lampard for the 11 games that lasted. So he took his first coaching role at the age of 19 with Chelsea, with Edwards having been a youth player with the Blues before being released at age 16. Edwards coached Chelsea under 18s and development teams before eventually being promoted to coach the first team when Frank Lampard was boss. He remained in his role when Thomas Tuchel took over at Stamford Bridge and when the Blues eventually won the Champions League in 2021. Edwards would likely have worked with Chelsea youth stars like Reece James and Mason Mount during his time in West London. He followed Lampard to Everton before eventually taking a role with England under 20s. Edwards beat the likes of Nathan Jones and Michael Beale to the role, with Jones reported to have reached the final 2. Well, the rumours are that we offered it to Nathan Jones and he wanted to put some kind of clause that he could get out of the job whenever he wanted. So effectively, what we have not employed the man that we wanted. We've employed the number 2. Now, is that a good thing? I don't know. Edwards is believed to have been on the same FA Pro license course as Rowett. And Millwall are expected to make an official announcement over the following days. Well, you wouldn't think that they would do it tomorrow, seeing as everybody knows. And everybody is talking about it already. What are you waiting for? I guess they have to cross the I's and dot the T's. Seemingly as well. Now, what's going to happen? Joe Edwards is the young England under-20 boss. Obviously, we have a game next week, and then there's an international break. England under-20s have 2 games during that international break. They have. Oh, by the way, England. I'm going to make a video tomorrow, specially dedicated to looking at Joe Edwards and looking at who he is. I've already done a bit of digging, and he's taken charge of 2 games as England under-20 boss. He has lost 2 games as England under-20 boss. He lost away at Portugal 2-1, and he lost away at Romania. Yeah, Romania. 2-0. So, and next week they have to play, or not next week, in 2 weeks' time, they have to play Italia and Deutschland. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, this is. I'm seeing people saying that they're excited about this. I'm seeing people moaning. When do Mill fans not moan? Like a certain section, not everyone, but there's always it's always very binary. People either love it or against it, whichever the situation is. Um, but I'm not feeling anything. Is that this guy is literally an unknown, and people say, "Oh, that's good. That's good. He's an unknown." We had managers applying for the job that were very much well known. Um, just because someone isn't known doesn't mean they're any good. And you see there it says appointed as Mill's next head coach. Yes, he is the head coach. We don't have a manager anymore. We don't have a manager. Is that a good thing? Probably not. I don't think so. Um, we suspect and we think that his role will be dedicated just to concentrating on coaching the first team and the game management of the first team. And he won't be doing the other stuff that a manager does. That will be done by other people. Is that any good? I don't know. But like I said, he's only managed in age-restricted football. He's basically only managed in age-restricted football at Chelsea. He's well, I'm spoiling it now, but he's won the FA Youth Cup twice with Chelsea. He got to the under-19 Euros finals twice with Chelsea, but in the under-23 league, or the Premier under-23 league, I think he finished 6th and 8th. And in the EFL Trophy, I don't know if you remember or if you know, they started putting Premier League junior teams into the EFL Trophy to try and jazz it up or give it some spice. So I think the Premier League teams wanted that because they basically pay money for the rest of the league, so they can basically dictate what they want to happen, and it will happen because they pay all this money. Because the EFL go with a begging bowl and an accusatory finger in the faces of the Premier League teams because they make so much money on the product that they've created, and the EFL demand that money to be shared around like some communist government. But yeah, so the Chelsea under-23s competed in the EFL Trophy when he was a manager. He got them to the semi-final. I think it was the overall semi-final, not the regional semi-final. I think they changed it since we were in it. And they drew 1-1 with Lincoln City, and they lost 5-3 on penalties. So that's what he's done. But he's only managed at Chelsea. He's literally assistant at Chelsea, and then he was assistant at Everton. So and Chelsea were at that time were literally buying any half decent youngster anywhere in the world and bringing them into the club. So we don't have that in Millwall. We don't. You literally got the players you've got. And we'll see what happens if he gets a tune out of them and he start humming by January. I imagine they'll start putting more. Do we have money to pump into the team? I don't know. Maybe if we sell one or two players, the ones that were worth a lot of money, Fleming and Esse. and then that money will be pumped back in the team. But if you want good young players, I mean, they don't grow on trees and they're very expensive. So is this going to be? Is this to try and get as many of our under 21s into the squad as possible? Your likes of your Chinocoli and your Alex Mitchells and your Romain Essays and Edamu Makus to bring this youth coach in to basically get like an under 25 team with a few older players in it. It's not that much difference between an under 23 and under 25 team. But we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not excited about this. I'm not angry about it. I'm not pissed off. I'm not anything. I'm literally just a spectator, like looking and waiting and seeing and saying like, who is this guy? Why have they given him the job? And we'll see what he does. Has he got the gift of the gab? Because we're going to get the interviews, and he's going to sound great in the interviews. But then that Sheffield, well, it's probably Sheffield Wednesday game is a bit too early. Probably the Coventry game, probably that's even too early. How many games do we give him? Probably till the end of the year. How many games is that? I think that's like 6 now. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, I'm literally like wait and see. I'm not judging anything. I have no idea how this is gonna go. It could be an absolute genius move, or it could be the worst thing since sliced bread. But we'll see. Now, obviously, because this is a video that incorporates Saturday, I have to bring you the match report from the game yesterday. This is from the official website, millwallfc.co.uk. Stoppage time defeat for Millwall at the Den. Yeah, absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. Millwall suffered a stoppage time defeat to Southampton in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon. Ryan Fraser scored in the 93rd minute to condemn the Lions to a loss in SC16. Adam Barrett named the same starting 11 which took to the field last Saturday at Watford against the Saints, meaning that George Saville kept his place in the 11. There were changes on the bench, however. Sean Hutchinson, Ryan Leonard and Alan Gamble all returned from injury and illness to feature. After the impeccable remembrance commemorations were concluded, the game got underway, surrounded by a raucous atmosphere from all 4 sides of the Den. Yes, they did sell out the game. I think they must have sold it out in the morning. And interestingly, the crowd was announced as 18,905, which is up there with probably the biggest attendance at this ground, at the new ground. One of them is also the exact same as the Bristol City game. So I'm wondering if that is now, in terms of the restrictions and the areas that are closed off, especially in the away section, if that is as many fans as we can get in the ground now, 18,905, minus all the comps and stuff. But there you go. The Saints made the early running against the Lions, but were restricted to attempting long-range efforts. Jake Cooper's solid challenge on Carlos Alcaraz, preventing Bartosz Białkowski from being tested with 9 minutes on the clock. Millwall hit back and forced a couple of set pieces, along with a crunching Saville tackle. The crowd also responded, but Białkowski was forced into a save on 20 minutes as he got his fingertips to Stuart Armstrong's attempt. The Lions were then wasteful in possession on the edge of their own penalty area at the half-hour stage, with Białkowski having to palm away Alcaraz's strike. Southampton's spell of pressure caused the pole spring into action once more. Moments later, as Will Smallbone went for goal, but the closest either side came to opening scoring was through Wes Harding's header on 36 minutes, which cracked the crossbar before bouncing clear. Murray Wallace's pinpoint cross was then headed into the arms of Gavin Bazanu. As the half-time break began to come into sight, and with no further attempts on either net, it was a goalless at the break. Both sides entered their respective attacking penalty areas at the start of the second half, but it was the visitors who looked the more likely as time went on. The Lions having to defend as well, as Stuart Armstrong went for goal from an acute angle. Millwall's width was freshened up just after the hour mark as Adomir Mack and Ryan Longman replaced George Honeyman and Brooke Norton-Cuffy, but the next chance of the game went the way of the Saints as Kamaldeen Sulemana cut inside and struck from the edge of the penalty area. Biakowski, however, got a strong hand to the effort. Casper North's free kick was headed back across the box by Jay Cooper in 76 minutes, but no Millwall man was there to prod home before a strike at the other end whistled past the far post as Biakowski scrambled to save. Zion Fleming sent an effort over as the last 10 minutes of the game got underway, with Biakowski beating away at Alcaraz's free kick as the action flowed at both ends, but with 3 minutes of the 5 given for stoppage time, Southampton were able to force a winner over the line through substitute Fraser. And the team was exactly like they say as last game. Biakowski, Norton, Cuffy, Wallace, Bradshaw, McNamara, Denor, Fleming, Saville, Cooper, Honeyman. The subs were Longman for Norton Cuffy in the 64th minute, Nisbet for Bradshaw in the 84th minute, and Imaku on for Honeyman on the 64th minute. The unused substitutes were Truman, Campbell, Mitchell, Essay, Hutchinson, and Leonard. So there you go. What a kick in the bollocks. And the attendance was 18,905 with 3,031 away fans. Yeah, I mean, bit of a sucker punch, isn't it? They rope-a-dope us. If you don't know what rope-a-dope is, I don't know if Muhammad Ali invented it, but basically in a boxing ring, you just defend and duck and weave, and you don't throw any punches, because if you throw punches, you exert energy and you get tired, and you let your opponent throw the punches, but you soak them up and defend from them. And then in about the 10th round, he's going to be absolutely fucking knackered, and you're fresh as a daisy. You can just start laying it on him. And seemingly with all our high press and running and closing down and chasing shadows, we were absolutely knackered, especially in the defence. If you see that the changes that were made, I would say fair play to him. Adam Barrett trying to win. He hasn't had a win yet, has he, in these 4 games that he's been in charge. So I think he's trying to win. But maybe throw some defensive subs on there. Why bring Nisbet on for Bradshaw? I think you're going like for like. Just bring another defender on. Put a Maku up front. He's got the pace to get up there, get out of the pitch if you pump it into the spaces up there. But yeah, I don't know. But what are you? No, I don't know. But absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. Like we hit the bar. Wes Harding nearly had 3 and 3. Apart from set pieces, I don't think we really did much, did we? But yeah, this 0-0 would have been the fair result. Nah, but like it would have been a decent result. It would have been a very good effort from us to get that 0-0. But and especially for Bart. I mean, I don't know what's happened with Bart. Like when he first came in, he was shaky, and it felt like that his days had been done. But I don't know. He's been getting better, especially after the last 2 games. Obviously, I don't know if he upped his game for this, and if he did, like, why can't you do that every week? Because if you don't know why he might have upped his game for Southampton, he came to Southampton from Poland. That was his first club in England, was Southampton. He played 22 games for them before moving on. So did he up his game for them? And if he did, why can't he do that against everyone? I mean, yeah. Does he know? Like, obviously he's training. So is Sarkic back in like rehab? Is he seeing him around the training ground and thinking, oh shit, he's nearly back from injury. He might be in the team soon. So I've got to try and perform to keep the place as number one. I don't know, but I think he probably was the man of the match in yesterday's game. Some absolutely brilliant saves, and looked like he's back to his best. So incredible stuff there. Now, moving on to the post-match comments. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. A real signer. Adam Barrett reflects on Mill's late loss to Southampton. A draw would not have been viewed as a bad result, but the Lions could not hold on until the final whistle. Adam Barrett described Mill's late defeat to Southampton as a real sickener, as he reflected on a gut-wrenching finale at the Den. The Lions were edging towards taking Southampton to a 0-0 draw, but were undone in stoppage time. A substitute Ryan Fraser struck. It has left Mill facing their sixth home defeat from 9 games this season, when they have been just minutes away from taking an unlikely point against Russell Martin's informed side. Speaking after the game, caretaker boss Barrett said, I was very pleased with the first half. I thought we started the second half well. Got in some good areas, decent opportunities, and with the quality of players they have and the way they play, they're going to almost tear you down a little bit. Just very, very frustrated in the end there. If you switch off for one moment against these top teams, they're going to punish you. They keep working you, they keep probing. It's just a real sickener at the end there to concede so late a game. On Fraser's late goal, Barrett said, I haven't been able to watch it back as yet, but my initial thoughts are the way they play, the way they move. They like the little inside channel runs, and I just don't think we dealt with it. I'm not sure what happened. I think a shot got blocked and then it fell straight back into his path again. They're good players and they go and punish you. Yeah, just a bit of bad luck at the end for us. Good luck for them. Really disappointed with that. That's 2 games there where we should be coming away with 4 points, including last week's 2-2 draw against Watford. And you're coming away with 1. The effort's there, you can see that. The team's really working hard and they put a good shift in, but as I said, we have to be able to maintain that longer in games. There were chances there, and that's the difference. They take them. We've got good players, and we've got players who can finish, but there's key moments now where you've got to start taking them, and that's what wins games. It's fine margins, it's little things in it, but like I said, there really are these moments there where I would expect us to be better. Okay, moving on to this, also from southwarknews.co.uk. A Mill caretaker manager analyses disappointing home form and the atmosphere at the Den following Southampton defeat. Adam Barrett says Mill were keen to improve their very disappointing home form after the latest dispiriting result. Southampton nicked it late at the Den yesterday to leave Mill with 6 home defeats from 9 in all competitions. The biggest scoreline came against Reading when the Lions lost 4-0 in the Carabao Cup in August, while they've also fallen to 3-0 losses to both Leeds United and Swansea. Yesterday saw the second time an away team have won 1-0 late, with Bristol City also pulling off their win in that style in the second league game of the season. And like I said earlier, that was also a game where they were selling shirts after they were auctioning shirts after the game. That was also a game that had the exact same attendance as the game yesterday, 18,905. Spooky. Spooky. Speaking of the home form, Barrett said, it's been really disappointing. That's something we've got to improve on. And I thought today they were a lot of good stuff against one of the best teams in the division, without a doubt. We hit the bar in the first half, and you think if that goes in, can it change it? I thought the atmosphere was great. I thought the fans were with the players all game. But yeah, of course we have to keep the Den back to being a really difficult place to come. We just have to keep working hard, keep believing, and keep trying to push forward and improve. There were lots of good stuff, and we tried to start well with second half, which is what we did do. It's just hard maintaining it for as long against these top teams. If you start jumping out and trying to press and you get it wrong, then they start opening you up, and the game kind of swung a little bit. And they have dangerous players when it does that. And then they bring on the subs and the impact they have. They put the foot down and it's difficult. They've got the quality players, but we wanted to maintain where we were at. And I think the big thing is when you get your key moments, you have to take your chance. And we had some decent opportunities, decent areas where I expect us to try and hurt them a little bit more than we did. And it just didn't quite happen for us today. Now going back, at the start of the season when they announced these substitute changes, I said that it would. Is this what we're seeing? Is it impacting us? Because I thought we would be able to do it to impact other teams, but seeing as it's being done to us. Because if you're going to make subs, you're more likely to change all your attacking players, your two wingers or whatever, your wide players and your forward, rather than your defenders. Because you only really change your defenders like if there's an injury or they're on a yellow card. So if your defender's getting tired, which I think ours might be, because Murray Rodgers is quite old. But should we start using defenders? Should we start substituting defenders? Is that what we should be doing? I don't know. Would that help? Obviously, you need someone decent, but if we're not going to have young centre backs who can run around for 100 minutes, because it's very hard to do that. It's concentrating. It's very intensive position is the centre midfield and the centre back. I mean, it really is. You've got not just physically, but mentally, like where you're doing, what you're watching, what you're tracking, where you're positioning. It's very, very intensive on your brain. And you do get tired, you get fatigued. So, should we start just changing some centre backs? Maybe in the 80th minute, I don't know. Is it worth doing that? Especially when you've got other teams bringing on 3 fresh attackers at the end of the game. Maybe it's something we should look at, I don't know. Because we keep getting done by these late goals, and it's not good. So it's happened against Bristol City, Watford, and now Southampton. So maybe it's something you need to look at. Obviously, if there's a problem there, how do we solve the problem? We say the players should keep running and keep. Well, they've been doing that all game. They're kind of tired. You've got two experienced centre halves sitting on the bench. Obviously, they've injured, but you can bring them on the 80th minute. Then they have to play 15 because these days you think the game can go up to like 115 minutes. So yeah. So this is from the South London Press, the londonnewsonline.co.uk. The opposition manager, they've got a quote from him. Southampton boss Martin on defeating Millwall claims dominance of ball helped them finish strong at the Den. Okay, what does he mean by that? Southampton manager Russell Martin felt his side's dominance with the ball was a key factor in them finishing so strongly in their 1-0 win at Millwall. Sub Ryan Fraser finally broke into the Lions' resistance in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. The Saints have collected 10 points from late goals this season and are 4th in the championship table. Martin agreed in his post-match press conference that the breakthroughs in the latter stages were not a coincidence. He added, "No, it's not, and I only see that as a positive because of the amount of dominance the guys have with the ball and the amount of energy they take of the opposition is not easy. I'll always be grateful for that. What they have now is a huge amount of pride and belief in what they're doing. We spoke before the game about being a team we want to be wherever we go, and this is a really tough place to come. Despite some of their results this season, they had so much aggression in the first half and made it difficult for us. We didn't quite move the ball quick enough. Second half, the lads responded and stayed so brave. Sometimes under big pressure, they built up from the back beautifully well, and then because of that, the amount of running we made them do, it's why the game looked like it did in the last half hour. We were relentless in attack and the ball would come back. I said to Gilly at one point, I feel this is the moment we've got them now. About 60 minutes in, we couldn't quite break them down. The goalkeeper made a couple of good saves, and there were a few moments in the box, and thankfully, we got there in the end. We had control, we limited them to one shot on target, they hit the bar from a set piece. They have such a threat from set pieces with the size they have, and they're very good at it. The power they have, and they had too many set pieces in the first half. We didn't quite stay in their half for long enough for a second number of reasons. We showed the players that at half time, and the second half was very, very different due to their aggression with the ball and sacrificing themselves going forward to open up spaces for each other. It was really top. Okay. Now moving on to this, also from the South London Press, London News Online, some pictures, which, given that the Remembrance Day celebration happened, or commemorations happened before the game, you get those pictures as well. So Brian Tonks' picture gallery from Mill's annual Remembrance Day fixture at the Den. Millwall's championship match against Southampton yesterday was their annual Remembrance Day fixture. The Lions squad warmed up in t-shirts which bore the names of local heroes from World War One. The players' matchday shirts had poppies on them and will be auctioned off. Those t-shirts will also be auctioned off, with all proceeds going to the Royal British Legion. Here are a selection of Brian Tonks' pictures from yesterday. So there you go, the poppy sellers having this still. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Now, as I mentioned, those shirts are being auctioned off. The match worn shirts are being auctioned off, and the other shirts are being auctioned off as well. Bidding wise, top of the pops is Bart Biekowski and Zion Fleming, which is no surprise. But like I said, so this is from matchwornshirt.com. Just search for Millwall and it'll come up. They also have these t-shirts. So if you can't afford the massive prices for the match-worn shirts, they usually go for around 200, 200 to 300. You have these t-shirts which will be signed, and these are pretty unique. So you can't buy these. So you can buy you can buy a shirt. Obviously, it's not going to be match worn, but you can go to the club shop, buy one of these shirts, get a number put on it, go down to the training ground or the ground or whatever, get a player to sign it. You can't get one of these shirts unless they are going to sell them in a club shop, but I doubt it. But you can't get these shirts. So these really are unique. But as you can see, the bidding is now like 78 quid. So this really is going to be unique bit of equipment, and I don't know. So we've got two that are more than the others. Now, is that related to the names of the people, the soldiers that died in World War One that are on them? Is the relatives of these people buying this? Maybe they are. So it's got the name of the soldier that died, or well, I say soldier. I think there is a sailor somewhere, and which member of the armed forces, branch of the armed forces they're in, and which road in the local area they lived in, and what age they were when they died in World War One. So, and these will be signed by the players involved. So, yeah, matchwornshirt.com. Get on it. So obviously it's Sunday. You know what that means. Stats. If you're not going to stay around, thank you for watching. If you are, get ready for this. As you can see on your screen on the right hand side, Bart Biekowski, man of the match, the busiest man in the match. Had a lot to do in that game, and he did it well. Like I said, why is that? Is that because he's getting the rust off? Is that because of coaching? Is that because he can see that the other guy's coming back from injury soon, so he's pulling his finger out? Is that because it was against Southampton, the team that he played for, so he stepped up for that? We don't know. Let's just hope he can get himself up for the next game as well. But let's hope he doesn't have to make that many saves, because damn, bro, that was a lot of saves he made. Southampton were effective with creating goal scoring opportunities from the flanks, but were poor at finishing. Millwall had no strengths, but were poor at finishing, lost possession of them, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box. Okie dokie. So here you can go. You can see attempts for each team. Millwall on the left, Southampton on the right. 7 to 16 attempts, 4 to 12 open play, 3 to 3 set piece, 0 to 1 counter attack. So from their 16, they scored 1. That's 6% conversion rate. That's about standard. That means we defended very well, but we had to. they had, because they were doing a lot of attacking. Here's where the teams were attacking. Here's the shot directions. Here's the shot zones. Here's the action zones. If it loads, yep, here you go. And here's the player positions. What was going on with Millwall? Where's Jake Cooper going? Where's Murray Wallace going? Where's Harding playing as a sweeper? Again, Book Norton Cuffy out on his own. That's an interesting formation there. So what this is, I think this is the average player position based on their heat map, I think, for each player. So where they were, then they kind of condense it into their average position. Okay. Now moving on to this, the match center. So nothing really happening on the timeline in the first half. First event, 55 minutes, Murray Wallace getting booked. Subs on the 65th minute, standard Gary Rout style. Let's wait until the 60th, 65th minute and then make the change. And then they made their own changes as and when. They made change on 71, then on 77, then on 83. So there you go. We made another one on 84. And seemingly all attacking substitutions. No defensive substitutions at all. If you look at the top right and top left by the club badges, you can the average player rating 6.65 for Millwall, 6.93 for Southampton. So not that much in it. That's not a lot at this level. That is not a lot. So here we go, and you can see Biakowski man of the match 7.6, and we've got Wes Harding. He hit the bar, had a clearance off the line. Got 7.3. Apart from that, everyone else is mid sixes. Okay. So, total shots 716. Who? Wes Harding with the one that hit the bar. Murray Wallace with 1. Bradshaw with 2. Fleming with 2. Longman with 1. Possession 27% to 73%. Oh my god. So what are we doing here? So 27%. So they're 35, 21 and 2. If you add that up, that is the possession that 3 of their players had was more than the possession that our team had altogether. 11.2 plus 9, what's that? That's 20.9. And then add the 6.8, that pumps you over. So Bednarak, Harwood Bellis, and Walker Peters had as much possession of the ball between the 3 of them than Mill's team had all together. Modern football, huh? They replaced kicking the ball back to the keeper and having him pick it up with this playing it short out from the back bullshit. It's just so shit, man. It's basically anti-football. It's the opposite of playing football. Pass success percentage though, 72 to 88. So yeah, quite high ones for us. Harding, McNamara, Norton Cuffy, Denor 82. Biakowski's 50. That's good. He's normally around like 23, 27. That's good for him. Dribbles 4 to 14. It's all Norton Cuffy on it. Aerials won 21 to 16. Every Millwall player winning an aerial except for Biakowski. Bradshaw with 3, Cooper with 7. Tackles 13 to 10. Obviously, we had to do more tackling, more defending. McNamara 3, and then the midfield trio of Denor, Saville, and Honeyman 2 each. Corners 5 to 12. Dispossessed 5 and 5. Okay, so moving on to whoscored.com, the list. Just crack through this because we're running up to 40 minutes now. So the ratings. So the 2 players 7 or above, 7.63 for Biakowski, 7.33 for Wes Harding. Murray Wallace next in line, then Jay Cooper and George Saville make up top 5. Any stinkers? Well, the lowest rated players are the substitutes, which is as you would expect because they have less time on the pitch. So why would they get a better score than someone who's on the pitch? That would indicate that the person they replaced is not very good. Zion Fleming 6.45. Casper Denor as well. Were they overawed? That was a big game. Did they kind of get lost in it? Touches of the ball. George Saville 63, Murray Wallace 49, Danny Mack 44. Offensive shots. So we had the 7 shots, 1 on target. So how many shots did they have, and how many? So they had 16. Yes. How many were actually on target? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yes, 8. So that's half. So we did very, very, very well to keep them to 1 goal. They had 16, and then they had 8. They should have had 3 or 4. The fact that they've only scored 1 goal is an absolute miracle. And that miracle is named Bart Biakowski. Now, going on to defensive. Who did the tackling, the intercepting, the clearance, and the blocking of the shots? Wow, that's a lot of tackles there. Danny Mack with 3, then Casper and George Saville and George Honeyman. Interceptions, George Saville 5. George Saville, defensive masterman. Wes Harding with 3, Murray Wallace with 3, Danny Mack with 2. Clearances, Murray Wallace with 7, Jake Cooper with 5, Zion Fleming with 4, and then George Saville, Wes Harding, Danny McNamara. Block shots, Jake Cooper with 3, George Saville, Wes Harding, Danny McNamara. So we know they had 8 shots on target. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them were blocked. But I think that's 6 overall. So 16 shots, 6 were blocked, 8 were on target. So that leaves another 2. It's 2. Oh dear. Okay. What are we doing now? We're going to move on to this fbref.com. If we go down and see, if you look in the middle, you can see the XG under the score, 0.5 to 1.0. So for all the shots that they had, the chances weren't clear cut because, like they said, they were shooting from far away. The one shot they had that was inside the 6-yard box, bang, goal. I think it was the only shot of the whole game that was inside the 6-yard box. So here's the match events as well that we've just seen on the other website. Here we go. Passing, possession, 28 to 72. Accuracy, as we've seen, 68 to 86. They had 718 passes. Just the 718. We had 277. Yes, the saves. Their keeper had 1 save to make. He made it. Ours had 7 to make. He made 6. And that last one was the difference. Fouls 10 and 10, corners 5 and 12, crosses 21 to 23, touches of the ball 400 to 809. Holy moly. Tackles 12 to 10, interceptions 18 to 10, aerials 121 to 15, clearances 31 to 12, offsides 1 to 0, goal kicks 6 to 4, throw ins 17 to 20, and long balls 67 to 62. So here we go. So here's the list of players and what they've done in that game. Anything standing out? Not really. Not on this page, basic page. If we go on, so dribbling of the ball, Brook Norton Cuffy 4 and 3, four attempted takes on attempts to dribble past someone. 3 of them were successful. The other players Casper, nope, 2 and 0. Adamo 2 and 0. Longman 1 and 1. So that was it. We only had 4 different players try and dribble past someone. Passing of the ball. So in terms of the accuracy, short passing, Edomu Maku 2 and 3. So he's attempted 3, but he's completed 2. Okay. And then Jake Cooper as well, 4 and 6 and 4 from 6. Everyone else pretty high up there. When you're doing short passing, another one, progressive distance. I showed you about this in the last game. Passing. How many yards did pass for? So 106 yards, but how much of that was forward towards the opponent's goal? So you can see here, so that tells you if someone's passing it forward or they're passing it backwards or sideways. So Casper Dinor here, 503 yards passing, 99 going forward, which probably explains why he had such a piss poor score on the WhoScored.com, because he wasn't passing it forward. Ryan Longman 17, all of them sideways or backwards. And then Jake, well, the defenders you kind of expect that they're doing a lot of passes, sideways passing. But in terms of the midfield players, but George that was well. I mean, that's kind of half. Well, it's better than Casper Denor, but the 525 yards passing, 235 progressive. I guess. Well, if there's no one forward, if there's one guy up on his own, you're going to pass it to him and let him lose the ball. In terms, so we've seen the accuracy on the short passing. Now about the medium passing. It drops quite a bit. We've got Bart with 4 and 4s, and that's 100. Bart didn't have a short pass to make. And then it drops down quite a lot. You can see here, so Brook Norton Cuffy, he's 33.3 on his medium passing, and he's 0 on his long passing. Edomu Maku passing was way off in that game, wasn't it? Short passes 66%, medium passes 33.3, and that one long pass was 0. Damn. Okay. So pass types. Okay. Defensive actions, tackles, and where the tackles were. There was this thing here I showed before about touches, but here, this is it. The touches in the attacking penalty area. 18 touches in the attacking penalty area. Now let's go down to Southampton and view their one. How many touches did they have in our penalty area? 29. They're 29. We had 18. That's not that bad really. So for all the huffing and puffing, like I said, all the sideways passing, they only had 29 touches in our penalty area. Okay. So here we go again with carries. So carries of the ball. Number of times player controlled the ball with their feet, and then the distance and progressive distance. So are you taking it forward or are you not taking it forward? And again, Casper Nor, 83 yards, 20 progressive. Okay. Miscellaneous stats. Anything on that we should be looking at? Aerial duels won and lost. Again, Tom Bradshaw, 37.5. He is not a target man. He is not a target man. We need, if you're going to do that, let's get a target man. Or play Jake Cooper up front. Put Ryan in defence, but play Jake Cooper up front. Pretty much the aerials will bang on. George Saville, 1-1, lost 2. Kevin Nisbet didn't even win an aerial, so at least Bradshaw won 3. Kevin Nisbet lost 2. So there you go. I think that's it. And we're going to finish by looking at Bart. As we've seen, so 36 years old and 121 days old. Shots on target against 7, goals against 1, saves 6, save percentage of 85.7. Best it's been in a long time. Post shot expected goal 1.3. Launched, this is basically long passing. 17 attempts, 8 completed, that's 47.1. Passes in total 17. 4 throws, distance 44.1 yards average. Goal kicks were all long, 6 of them bombing long, 100%, 62.5 yards in length. Opponent crosses 17. He came out and stopped one of them, that's 5.9%. OPA, defensive actions outside penalty area, 1, and the average distance from his goal line was 14.5. So there you go. If not for Bart Biakowski, that would have been another one of those heavy defeats. Probably another 3-0. So are we getting better? I think so. We had players on the bench that probably could have come on in defence. Should you have done that? I don't know. Bringing them in, is that it's not a thing that people do. But here's the thing: the substitution rules have changed. Our players are getting tired because we do a lot of defending. We don't have a lot of possession of the ball. Is that what we need to do? Well, I don't know. The new coach is going to come in now, so it's probably, I don't know what he's going to do. But maybe that's the thing that he can do, is bring on a fresh defender or 2 of them at the end of the game. I don't know. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, absolutely can. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.